Power has been restored and the electronic lock on the vault of silliness has disengaged. This week, it has loaned us a dumb birthday game from the weekend of December 17th and 18th, 1994. Let's call this one 2 for the Price of None. The players: Laurie, Ellen in Stoneham, Carol Lee from Providence, Rhode Island, Brian in Plaistow, New Hampshire, Brian McKinley producing and playing in studio, Jack Harte in traffic. Birthdays: Eugene Levy, Robert Guccione, William Sapphire, Gene Rayburn, Sarah Dallin, and Marilyn Beck. We also get 2 history questions. Wilbur and Orville Wright had their maiden flight at Kittyhawk in what year? And in what year did Edgar Bergen make his radio debut on the Rudy Vallee Show? Dumb birthday game number 2 from December 18th. The players: Thomas in Cleveland, Frank in Ontario, Juanita from Birmingham, Michigan, Brian McKinley producing and live in studio again, and Ken Newman in traffic. The birthdays: Kiefer Sutherland, Keith Richards, Roger Smith, Steven Spielberg, Leonard Maltin, Anita O'Day, Bill Moose Scowron, and Ossie Davis. Please don't forget Patreon and become a subscriber for exclusive content. Episode 168, 2 for the Price of None, rings its way to your ears now.
Good morning, Norm. I never realized the educational value of this show. I never learned so much about Regis and Kathy Lee. I was hanging on every word.
I know. You know something? I think they are the 2 most boring people on television. I mean, I like Mary. She's a nice lady. And, but they sit there and they talk, and who cares? Do you find that to be true, or is it just? I know they do well. I think the ratings are probably pretty good for the show, but they sit there and they talk, and I've never heard Regis ever say anything I cared about.
Well, if that's the way rich people behave, I'm glad I'm poor.
Because you are interesting. You're poor, but interesting.
I'm not sure that that's a great satisfaction.
It's just great satisfaction for me, so don't... Anyway, you're on a great panel right now, and if you were rich, you probably wouldn't be calling me. Okay? We have Ellen, who's in Stoneham. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, how are you? I hope we have some women playing tonight.
Yes, we do.
All right.
We do. Not too many, but we have you, and we have one. In fact, I'll introduce you to the other woman who's from Rhode Island. Her name is Carol Lee. Hi, Carol Lee.
Hi, Norm.
I want you to meet Ellen because she doesn't want to be the only woman playing the game.
Hi, Ellen.
Carol. You always have all these women calling up, and they never play a game.
I know it. We don't do that purposely. It's just that they, when we ask for people to play the game, they very often don't call back. I don't know why that is.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, so we got you. We got Ellen from Stoneham. And where in Rhode Island are you, Carol Lee?
Providence.
In Providence.
Yeah.
Well, that's very... neither one of you has played the game before, as I recall.
I just started listening to you about a month ago.
Yeah?
And it's great. And this is my first time calling.
Well, I appreciate that very much. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
We also have Brian up in New Hampshire. Where in New Hampshire are you, Brian?
Plaistow.
Plaistow, right across from Haverhill. Right
Yes,
across
sir.
the line. Okay. And we also have, of course... Brian McKinley, who's our producer, who's playing.
I'm right here. I don't know where I am.
Oh, that's really good stuff there. Anyway, that's Brian McKinley. Not a terribly good ad-libber, but a wonderful person and very kind to his grandparents. And that's all we care about. That's one of our tests. Well, of course, we also have Jack Harte, WBZ 24-hour traffic network reporters with us, too.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Jack, with your nice, big, rich, deep, resonant voices. So good to hear. Let's see who can talk deeper and lower.
Let's try and find somebody.
Okay, well, let's try. Well, no, but it's between you and me. How you doing, Jack?
I am just so swell. You wouldn't believe it.
I think you win the contest.
Oh, thank you very much.
I thank you because if I go anything lower than this, I'll probably vomit.
And I'd like to thank all the little people who stood by me during this contest and made me feel taller.
It's wonderful.
Norm, you sound like Arthur Godfrey.
I don't understand why that should be the case at all. I don't feel like Arthur Godfrey, and I don't even remember who Arthur Godfrey was. I have a feeling from the reaction I'm getting, nobody else remembers who he was.
Oh, I remember him.
Do you? I do impressions of people that they're all dead now. I do. You know, for example, Jack Benny. You know, who's been dead now for a lot of years. You see, and I do John Wayne. Let's hitch up the horses and get out of here. See, they're all dead people.
And they can't defend themselves.
They cannot, and nobody remembers what they sounded like anyway. So what the heck? Okay, what I do is, for people who are tuning into this game for the very first time, which is too bad because you've missed the something, whatever it is you've done, you've missed the treasures and the excitement of what has gone on in the past. And the idea is I tell you who was born on this date, which right now would be December 17th. Mm-hmm. And, today is Freeman James Tucker, his birthday.
Freeman James Tucker?
Yeah, you probably have no idea who Freeman... I think he was Junior, Freeman James Tucker Jr., that's right.
Oh, Junior.
Because when I grew up in Everett on Vine Street, at 253 Vine Street, Freeman James Tucker Jr. and his dog Skippy lived across the way.
Uh-huh.
And we called him Junior for years. People still may call him Junior. He's probably close to 70 years old now, and he may still be Junior. And I just have I've forgotten that, but he was born, I believe, December 17th. Howard Feldman, who lived next door on Vine Street in Everett, his birthday was December 16th. My birthday is December 20th, if people want to send me lavish gifts. We were all born about the same time, but in December. Isn't that interesting, everybody?
Oh, yes. Well, on 20th, you can play your own birthday game.
That's right. That'll be next Tuesday, and I'll be on that night.
Mine's
That's right.
next Friday.
Your birthday is Friday?
Yes.
What, next Friday, you mean?
Yeah.
That would be the 23rd? The 23rd?
Oh, no, mine's Saturday, 24th.
The 24th.
Yeah.
So I was going to tell you who was born then, but then again, we give away some of the clues to the dumb birthday game.
That must have been tough when you were a kid, being born so close to Christmas.
Yeah, because you get a Christmas and a birthday gift all rolled into one. Did you find that to be? Now, is that Alan who's talking?
No, Carol Lee.
Carol Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you found that you got a Christmas and a birthday gift all separate, or did you get two separate gifts?
No, usually they get one from under the Christmas tree and say it's for your birthday. And I get one of those cards that say Happy Birthday, Merry Christmas.
I know.
It's cheaper that way.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Carol Lee. Maybe we can make it up to you today. I don't know what. I hope you win the game and I can send you a combined gift.
Prejudice.
I guess that's true, but it's a tacky nothing kind of gift, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's start with Eugene Levy. Do you know Eugene Levy?
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of the guy who works here who reminds me of Eugene Levy? He just got married. He looks just like Eugene Levy.
Looks just like Eugene Levy.
He's a producer here at the BZ Radio. He's kind of heavy set, kind of like me.
He just got married.
Yeah.
Chris
Palermo.
Yeah. He looks like
Chris Palermo. Doesn't he look? You've seen him, haven't you? You sound like you've seen him, Jack.
Only once for a couple of minutes. I didn't get Eugene Levy, but then again, I didn't look at him for that long.
Well, you never look at anybody because you're too busy looking in the mirror and kissing the glass.
Yes.
And combing your mustache.
Oh, sure.
As though you all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Shame on you.
I lick my finger and brush my eyebrow while I'm looking in the mirror. Sure.
I used to have, when I was worked at WHDH, there was an engineer there. The engineers there, they were very big. They used to play the records for us and do all kinds of things, namely because HDH at that time only hired the mentally handicapped, us, and so we had to have engineers doing everything. But he would look into the console and stuff, and see his reflection, and I point to him to get a record on quickly so I could do my little shtick, and he'd be looking into the console at his own reflection, combing his eyebrows. I just remember that so well. Oh, God, those were really sickening days, and if I get my hands on this kid today, I'll kill him.
Norm, you have led such an exciting life.
Oh, it's been a whirl. It's been kind of just a big merry-go-round. I'm so pleased. Okay. Anyway, Eugene Levy is the guy we're talking about. Let me see if I can give you some background on him. He was in the movie Look Who's Talking, it says. But he was also on that great comedy show with John Candy and a whole bunch of great comics that came out of Toronto.
SCTV.
SCTV, which I thought was absolutely one of the funniest shows ever on television. SCTV, Eugene Levy, dark-haired, wore glasses, that guy. Laurie, do you know who I'm talking about?
I have absolutely no idea. Can you give me any hint as to when these shows took place?
Let's see now. The SCTV was on up to 3 years ago, something like that. 4 years ago. It was fairly relatively recent.
Actually, it was mainly produced like in the late 70s.
Oh, was it 70s?
Late 70s? That far back?
Yeah, we saw it in a lot of reruns for a long time.
Oh, and I didn't realize that. Now the Look Who's Talking. The movies, he's been in a couple of movies since. Are they fairly recent?
Mid-80s to about 91.
Okay, and one he played with John Candy, he was a police officer. Remember, they were kind of young recruits.
Armed and Dangerous.
Was that the name of that? Armed and Dangerous, yeah. Anyway, the SCTV is the one that I love best of all, which I thought was funny. Anyway, that was Eugene Levy. That doesn't help you at all, does it, Laurie?
Well, I'm going to take a guess based on the multitudinous amount of information you gave me. And let me say 37.
Let me say 37. We'll let you say that. I'll mark it down, and we'll go to Ellen. What do you think? You know who we're talking about, Ellen?
No, I haven't the vaguest idea.
Oh, that's too bad, because this guy's very talented.
I'm trying to.
It looks like Chris Palermo.
I remember the Second City TV, but I don't remember him.
There used to be a news segment, and he was one of the anchors in this little news segment that they would do regularly.
Well, I suppose I'll say 44.
Okay, and what do you think, Carol Lee?
I'll say 42.
Okay, and Brian, the New Hampshire Brian?
I'll say 52, Norm.
Okay, and the WBZ Brian?
I'll say 49.
49, okay. And the WBC traffic reporter, Jack Harte person?
Let's see. He's backing up to 44.
Backing up to 44?
He gave that whole, whatchamacallit, traffic reporter intro. So.
Oh, I see. Backing up to 40. I see.
You see.
I see. Well, that's a wonderful way of putting it. It's just so nice. Actually, he's 48.
Oh.
So I think Brian McKinley said 49. And you were the closest, Brian. Yeah, you were Brian. Do you want to respond to that and say, at least show that you're paying attention?
I'm sorry. I had my headphones on another station. No, just kidding.
We had a woman on last week or the week before. She didn't respond to what I was saying. She was tuning her radio to other stations, see if she could find a better talk show. I thought
better call-in show.
Yeah. Oh, I just was so humiliated by that. But I handled it, I thought, very well by hanging up on her abruptly.
The only way you could.
Screaming and hanging up hysterically. That was nice. Anyway, okay, you have won round one, Brian, and that's just so wonderful. Robert Guccione. That sounds like I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's the way it should be. He is the publisher of Penthouse magazine.
Oh, Guccione.
A very attractive lady. He shows up on television every now and then.
Bob Guccione.
Guccione. It's kind of funny now. It says here he was born Robert Sabatini in Brooklyn, New York. Now, did he change his name to Guccione? Guccione.
He wanted to sound less ethnic.
He wanted to sound so Italian. You mean? No, it might have been something in the family. His mother may have divorced Mr. Sabatini and then married a guy named Guccione. Guccione sounds like I'm pronouncing it wrong.
I think it's Gucci. Bob Guccione.
Guccione.
Like the long version of the pocketbook thing. You know, the Gucci pocketbook.
The Gucci. Oh, I see. And Gucci shoes also.
Sort of like if you didn't have any others, you'd have a Guccione.
That is so clever and so smart.
Thank you.
So that is really wonderful, Jack. Just shut up. Okay. How old are you now? Because in pure Italian, you would pronounce that Robert or Roberto Guccione. Okay. Anyway, which reminds me of like our lieutenant governor, whose name is
Cellucci.
Yeah, he calls it Cellucci. That doesn't make any sense. He should pronounce it either Cellucci or Cellucci. Cellucci is actually would be correct, though. But he pronounces it. Well, never mind. We're not even talking about him. Robert Guccione. How old do you think he is, Jack?
I'm going to say Roberto Guccione. He's maybe 56.
56. Incidentally, I saw the marriage of Joey and Maria the other day. You know that thing that plays the dinner theaters.
Sure.
They had a big opening night. One night last week at the Wilbur Theaters down in there's a little kind of a ballroom kind of thing there where they had a comedy shop at one time. And I mention that because it's about a wedding of two Italians together. And if I were Italian, I would have bombed that place. I mean, they deal in such ugly stereotypes that it's really horrible. I found it really disgusting. Thank you very much. I just had I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. Italians don't act like that. Except in the extreme. It's like any ethnic group. Anyway, I just had to say that, and I can't remember now why I had to say that, but I did. Brian, what do you think? Robert Guccione.
Robert Guccione is 58.
58. They even had the Godfather showing up at the wedding. I mean, talk about stereotypes and cliches, you know. And even the priests would talk like, hey, you want to get married or what? And I thought, oh, come on. I mean, come on now. We've gotten beyond that. Brian in New Hampshire, how old do you think Robert Guccione is?
I would agree he's probably 58.
You can agree with the other Brian?
Yes.
Okay. And Carol Lee, what do you think?
I'm going to say 62.
62. Okay. And Ellen?
I'm going to say 55.
And Laurie?
Well, I'm going to fill in the gap and say 57.
Okay. Yeah. So what would that be in Italian? Would that be?
My Italian's as bad as my English.
Yes, 47. That doesn't seem right. 40 seems like 47. 67.
Hey, sounds good to me.
Yeah, Roma. I'll learn it eventually. It takes a little while because Roma non fu fatta in un giorno.
Say 50?
No, what I just said was Rome wasn't built in a day. It's the only kind of little proverb I know in Italian. I try to divert conversations all around it so it makes sense.
I remember when I was a kid, I grew up in a Portuguese-Italian neighborhood. It was quite a mixed neighborhood. And by the time I was 10, I could swear in 3 languages.
That was nice, yeah. Hey, Barone, what, huh? Anyway, okay, Robert Guccione is 64 years old today. And I believe that brings Carol Lee the closest, because she said 62. You said 62. Sì. Un'aria dell'opera. Anyway, William Sapphire.
Where are you getting these people?
I know it. I can't help it. These are the people who born in this state. I never planned it. This is not planned.
Their parents is what you.
Yeah, this is not Planned Parenthood. They just happen to casually be born on these dates.
Well, what she has to remember is that the people whose birthdays you know are always the ones who are on the show that you are not on.
I know. It's
That's always the,
Yeah,
that's the
true.
rule.
Yeah, tomorrow we have a whole bunch of
who's
well-known people. Like tomorrow, well, I'll tell you some. What the heck? Steven Spielberg, Kiefer Sutherland, people you know. Well, maybe not too many people, you know. I think I just ran out of them. But we'll do them tomorrow. But today, well, we'll get to some that you may know. And a couple of dates or something to fill in. But William Sapphire is a writer. The New York Times carries his column. He's a conservative columnist. Plus, what he does that I really like a lot is he talks about the English language. And he has a great column in the Sunday New York Times about that. Pulitzer Prize winner, journalist, William Sapphire. He ought to get together with Billy Crystal. Is there a connection there, do you think? Maybe not. You know. And maybe Nancy Glass. You know Nancy Glass?
Nancy Glass used to be on one of those...
An entertainment group.
Yeah, one of the tabloid news things.
American Journal, I think.
Yeah, and she's from here. She's from Boston area. Okay, Brian from New Hampshire. Let's start with you. William Sapphire.
I'll say 64, Norm.
Okay, 64. And Ellen, what do you think?
52.
52. Okay. And Laurie?
Well, let's see. I'll say 55.
Okay, Laurie will say 55. And Brian McKinley will say...
I'll say 59.
59. And what do you think, Carol Lee?
48.
40. How old are you, by the way? You sound very young.
In my 30s.
Oh, you sound even younger than that, but in your 30s is a wonderful age.
I wouldn't mind being 50 again.
Really? Well, I'll see what I can do for you. We have a promotion department here that creates wonderful things. Except with me, 'cause I'll never see that decade again. Jack, what do you think? How old do you think William Sapphire is?
William Sapphire.
William Sapphire.
Sapphire. Just trying to think of how old he sounds in his column.
He shows up on television every now and then.
Let's see.
So much pain going on there. Do you hear that pain? Oh, my.
He's looking it up.
I'll say he is 50 fella.
50 fella. Okay. Actually, William Sapphire is 65 years old on this day, December 17th. He and Freeman James Tucker Jr. are very close to each other's ages, except Freeman James Tucker Jr. is older. But Brian said 64, and he's 65, so Brian is the closest. So we have Carol Lee and Brian from New Hampshire, and our own Brian here is with one apiece. Also, I saw a movie the other night, too, Disclosure. Any of you have seen that? Disclosure with Michael Douglas?
No.
And...
Demi Moore?
Yeah, Demi Moore.
No.
Yeah. Interesting movie. Yeah. It really grabs you. Then you think of it afterwards and you say, that's ridiculous. One of those kind of movies.
Doing the sexual harassing?
Yeah, he was going to sue her for sexual harassment, and they warned him against that. And then he dug up all kinds of incredible evidence to prove that his case was solid. And as you thought of, I mean, at the time it seemed to make sense, but later on, as you thought of it, you thought, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense at all. But he's a good actor, and Demi's kind of nice to look at, and Sutherland, what's his name?
Donald?
Donald Sutherland is in the movie. He's quite good. I mean, the acting it really holds your interest. It's quite an interesting movie. Disclosure, and it was the number one at the box office, I think, last weekend.
Hey, Norm.
Yeah.
Don't you think Michael Douglas is being typecast now for roles like that?
I guess so, yeah. He was in that other movie, too, which had a similar plot.
Yeah, he's been in Fatal Attraction and Basic Instinct, and now this one, too. They're all sexual thriller-type movies that he's been doing.
That's true.
The elevator.
What about the elevator?
He's always having sex in the elevator.
Well, doesn't everybody?
Well, that has its ups and downs, though.
Oh.
Hey, well, we're having sex in the elevator. We don't need a person telling us bad jokes. You understand? Okay, Gene Ray. Do any of you know Gene Rayburn?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's been on a million quiz shows and stuff.
Every time little Willie sits on his blank.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He was on that game show. He was an announcer on Steve Allen's Tonight Show. Game shows, Match Game, I think is the one you're doing, Jack. And also Tic Tac Doe. And also he started out as a part of a team called Rayburn and Finch on WNEW in New York. They did a comedy morning show together. And I bumped into Gene Rayburn a lot when I was a member of the National Board of AFTRA, the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. So and at our national conventions, Gene Rayburn represented. He was a representative from New York, and he showed up a lot. He's an interesting guy. Anyway, that's Gene Ray. I just thought I'd throw that in to show you that I'm kind of a big deal myself.
Oh, we know, Norm, we know.
Hello, is this microphone on? I didn't get the kind of response there that I thought I should get from that. Anyway, okay. Gene Rayburn. Let's start with you, Brian, up there in New Hampshire. How old do you think Gene Rayburn is?
Probably about 74.
74, okay. And Laurie, what do you think?
I think he's up there, too. I would say I'll try 70.
70, all right. And the lovely and beauteous Carol Lee.
Let's see. I'll say 68.
68. And Ellen?
I'll say 69.
And Jack?
70.
And what do you think, Brian McKinley?
The answer is 75.
The answer is 75, okay. And you happen to have come the closest, because he's 77.
Wow.
I can't believe he's 77.
Wow, he's been around. I mean, he's been around since...
I know, he's been around forever. I know he is. And when I was just beginning in radio, he's already a big star on in WNEW with, as I mentioned, Finch and Rayburn, or Rayburn and Finch. But he's 77 years old today. I find that hard to believe. But you said 77. You said 74, rather. So you now burst into the lead with two correct answers. While no, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I circled the wrong. Sorry. Brian up in New Hampshire said 74. He was very close too. But you have now two correct answers. Brian in New Hampshire, Carol Lee. Both have one apiece. Okay.
I keep on hearing like a little cooing sound, like a pigeon.
Yeah, I hear that, too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think
it's like a little electronic humming of some sort.
Someone calling from their pigeon coop?
That's me when I get excited. I'm winning, so...
Oh. Yeah, it could be Brian McKinley.
I see. I thought it was my stomach.
Cooing.
No, it doesn't. Or it could be the WBZ.
Tend to coo and drool.
Yeah, it could be the WBZ pet pigeon.
That's right.
Say Norm.
Yes.
I think that in honor of me, since I'm doing just about as well this time as I did the last time I was on, I think you ought to institute a booby prize to make those of us who are just plain dumb feel good.
It's called whoever wins.
Yeah, that's the only problem with it is that the main prize is really a booby prize. So I don't know. I mean, what do I do with the booby prize? Give something really nice, because we give junky stuff to the winner. You know, I don't know how we can do any worse than that.
Give out some Gold Bond powder, Norm.
Yeah, we could do that.
Or some Ovaltine.
I was mentioning yesterday, while one of the nights when I actually go to bed at night and try to sleep, I was getting kind of itchy, so I used some Gold Bond for the first time in my entire life.
And when you put it on, did you go,
Then I said, oh, it's itchy skin. I'm so sick of just scratching myself till blood is bleeding out of every pore.
I start itching every time I hear that commercial.
Actually, I have used it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It served my purposes, yeah.
Yeah, it served my purposes, too. It made me not only less itchy, but I thought sexually exciting. I could hardly keep my hands off myself. Oh, my.
You are bad.
Oh, I am really bad. I told you, once the management finds out that I'm really on it this time of night and here's this program, I'm gone. I'll see you later. Norm, the management of Westinghouse was listening to you last night. We didn't realize you were on that late, you know. In fact, we didn't even know you worked for us. But we were listening last night, and we're offering you a really swell severance. Like, how about 3 hours? 3 hours pay. Get out of here, and don't let us look at you ever again.
Now you sound like Peter Falk.
Really? Oh, really?
A little bit.
I'm sorry, really? Really? Do I sound like Peter Falk? Okay.
Well, a poor imitation.
Okay. I can't sound like him because he's alive. I only do dead people.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah Dallin.
Oh,
who is Sarah Dallin? I know. I know how you feel. I never heard of her either. She was born in England. She's with the group Banana Rama.
Oh.
You've seen Banana Rama.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen it. Their biggest hit was Venus. They recorded that in 1986. Okay. Can anybody sing that? Can you give us a little idea? But Venus,
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, that's your desire.
Joy.
Ooh.
That's it.
keep
Yeah,
going.
don't
You
stop,
guys
go.
No, you guys are going, man.
I didn't know popular music had atonality.
Oh, yes, it does. No, it's the newest trend.
That was the Gregorian version of
Yeah,
it.
heavy metal, rap, and atonality.
Sure, it's all going on to like this whole chant deal, you know?
It's all a big thing now.
So all the classics are being redone.
Oh, yes, that's oh, yes.
Fly me to the moon. You know, things like that.
Oh, that's really nice. And let me play among the stars. Ooh,
Too much gold
baby.
on powder.
What is this gold bond powder
What, are we
thing?
making you itchy?
Okay, Sarah Dallin. Anyway, let's see. We'll start with you, Laurie. How
I knew that you were going to do that to me.
we have ESP?
Yes, he does.
We might form a carnival act.
Now, she's a pop singer, and they had a hit in 1986.
1986 called Venus, and that the group was Banana Rama, which is a great name for a group.
Okay, let's see. And it's now 1994.
1994, that's correct. So, you know, that's 8 years ago.
Oh, I love your high-tech math. Oh, well, let's take a flying guess at 30.
A flying guess at 30. Okay. And Ellen?
I think I'll fly at 36.
Okay. Do you live anywhere near the zoo?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because that's pretty country out there.
Right around the corner.
Oh, yeah, near Spot Pond and all.
Yes. We've got the ducks crossing the street that stay in the middle of the street constantly.
Oh, do they get hit a lot?
No, people stop and shoo them by and wait till they walk.
Really? And then they go
Yeah.
and they watch the ducks go by.
And where
That's
is
sweet.
this? Let me jot this down so I can put it in the traffic
This
report.
is Stoneham. That's Route 28?
Yes.
Route 28.
Route 28 is the main
Stoneham.
route through Stoneham. Ducks.
She'd be close to me in Stoneham.
Because you're in Medford.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not too far away. That's true.
next town.
Yeah. Now, what did you say, Ellen? Did you say 36?
Yes.
Okay. Stoneham is right next to Medford?
Yeah.
Darren?
Yeah, they border.
So I didn't know that.
Melrose, Medford.
Are you both single? Are you single, Ellen?
Yes.
Laurie?
No.
I'm so sorry. Could you get your wife out of bed now? Let me talk to her and tell her how unhappy you are being married to her.
No, I'd rather not.
Okay. I mean, if you want to make a clean break of it, perhaps I can help. That's why I'm here all night. Otherwise, it's pointless for me to be up all night.
That's what you should start a singles line, you know.
We could do that, yeah.
One night a week.
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be good.
Yeah, get some lessons from Dick Hyatt.
Well, he was on the show with us one night, as a matter of fact, yeah, and we were talking about singles and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I participated in his program back before I was married, I might add.
Oh, that's
and I
right.
met some very nice people.
You did?
Yes,
did.
it worked very well.
Because he still has singles dances and stuff. Unfortunately, the cutoff age is 93, so I'm a little too old for that. Carol Lee, how old do you think Dick Hyatt is? Or even Sarah Dallin, who we're talking about?
Well, 33.
33, okay. And the New Hampshire Brian?
I think 31, Norm.
Okay, and what do you think, Brian McKinley?
I'll say 32.
And what do you say, Jack?
34.
34. She's exactly the same age that Carol Lee said.
Oh.
33.
All right.
So Carol Lee and Brian are tied up from Brian McKinley are tied at 2 games apiece.
Is Ellen still here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have nothing.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, babe.
Well, no,
That's not the way I saw it last night. Oh.
You and I can commiserate.
Okay. How about Marilyn Beck? And I know you're going to say who's she. Listen, I don't decide who's born on these dates. They just have to come up. Marilyn Beck is a Hollywood columnist. You see, I think the Sunday, that section that comes with the Herald and a lot of local papers has her column in it. What is that called? She wrote Marilyn Beck's Hollywood, or as we say, Marilyn Beck's Hollywoods, and she does that kind of stuff. And it's in that Sunday wrote a gravure section of the magazine section.
Yeah, that's the part no one reads, Norm.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of a little tabloid kind of insert that's in a lot of newspapers. What is that called? That's
Parade.
Parade, I believe it's Parade, and I'm Marilyn Beck. That's exactly right there, Brian. That's Marilyn Beck.
Does she do the Parade of People or the People Parade?
I don't know. I can't remember what the column is called.
Right on the front there.
Yeah, Parade of People.
Parade of People could be, yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, that's the person we're talking about, Marilyn Beck. And we'll start with, we'll start with Ellen of Stoneham, near the zoo.
Near the zoo. I'll say 45.
45. Okay, and what will you, Brian McKinley, say?
I'll say she's 43.
43. And Jack?
When she started out, they all thought that she was very reliable because she was always at everyone's beck and call.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, shut up.
62.
62. Okay. And the New Hampshire, Brian?
How about 50?
Yeah, about 50 looks good to me, and I can put that in Roman numerals. Let's see, that's just plain L, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes, 50.
That's easy. Okay, Carol Lee.
I'm going to say 54.
54. And what do you say, Laurie?
Oh, I can see this time around I'm last in the becking order.
Wow. That's cool.
I could barely stand that.
Well, I might as well be a perfect square, and I'll say 49.
49. Okay. Now, of course, comes again that magic moment when I tell you the actual age. And this is terribly important that...
I'm going to lose again, aren't I?
I don't know yet. Carol Lee and, of course, and Brian McKinley are both tied at 2 apiece, so let's see if any one of those guys come closer. And actually, they don't. Jack Harte comes the closest because Marilyn Beck is 66. And Jack Harte said 62. So he breaks into the scoring column.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Laurie and Ellen are going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Now we've run out of all the swell, well-known names. The names you don't seem to think are well-known. And so I'm going to give you a couple of dates, things that have happened on this date, December 17th, Freeman James Tucker Jr.'s birthday, and see if you can tell me the year they happened, because we know the date they happened was December 17th, like Wilbur and Orville Wright.
Oh.
Can you imagine a parent naming their kids Wilbur and Orville? That's probably why they got involved in flight, just to
get away from their parents.
Get away, yeah. Unless if we fly, we can get away from these creeps.
Well, there's at least one other famous Orville.
Yeah?
Faubus.
Oh, Redenbacher.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Redenbacher.
And Faubus.
Oh, Orville Faubus, who just died a couple of days ago. Okay. Wilbur and Orville Wright flew their 12-horsepower airplane at Kittyhawk, North Carolina, on its first 12-second flight. Locals thought they were crazy and yelled, "Kill devil!" And their dad said, let's see if I can imitate. I want to get the exact sound of their father, Mr. Wright. He said, "It's given, only to God and angels to fly." That's right, it's given only to angels and God and angels to fly. And I think the mother said something like, only angels, you see, and God should fly. Rochester. Something like that. Anyway.
Well, they did. They were totally disrespectful of a fly-by-night organization.
That's awfully good. I wonder if you join Julius La Rosa and get the hell out of here as fast as you can, young man. Anyway, Orville piloted while Wilbur ran alongside, holding a wingtip to keep it steady. It sounds like these planes that we've been having some problems with lately.
It sounds like one of my favorite motion pictures, those magnificent men in their flying machines.
That's right. Anyway, Flyer 1 is now at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. for your viewing and dancing pleasure. That's about the great information. Let's see if I have another line or two about them, but it doesn't really matter. I think.
I understand that the one who actually got on the plane took with him a little bag of rancid peanuts, thus starting a tradition.
That's right. And a little pillow, a little dirty pillow. Okay.
Big enough to put your thumb on.
They staged the first successful to summit of powered airplane flights near Kittyhawk, North Carolina. What year was that? The date was December 17th. The question now is, what was the year? And we'll start with Jack Harte and his orchestra.
Oh, what year was it?
I'll give you another clue. It was the year my mother was born.
Oh.
All right.
I see she was born on that year.
Actually, I thought it was the year you were born.
Oh, shut up. She was born, as a matter of fact, she was born in November 23rd of this very year.
Huh, was she
so
older?
very close to that.
Was she older or younger than my grandmother?
I don't really care to make a comparison, because Mom wouldn't like it.
I see.
She loved your grandmother, and she didn't like to be in competition with her. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I wish I had a violin.
Yeah, what was your grandmother's first name?
Sarah.
Sarah, same as one of my daughter's name.
Yeah,
no, my mother's first name was Rose.
Uh-huh.
Rose, yes.
Rose Nathan.
Rose Nathan, that was her name. Well, actually, Rose Schlafman when she was born.
Uh-huh.
She became Rose Nathan until she married into the wonderfully socially
inept
Nathan family. That's right. I was trying to think of a way to get around that, but that was about the size of it. She married below her station in life, as I recall.
I see.
And never forgave any of us for it. Okay, Jack, what year was that?
Let's see. 1903.
1903, says Jack. And Brian McKinley says
1902.
1902. That was about the year you were president. No,
Yes.
it was a little later than that. But
My past lives, it was Willie, yeah. Well, was it? When was I president?
When you were president, let's see, William McKinley was actually president in the 1800s, I believe. Yes, that's true. No, wait a minute. No, he was not. No, he was not. He was assassinated in about 1902 or 3, wasn't he? When William, it was Theodore Roosevelt, who's vice president, took over. It was about 1902, something like that. That's right. So you're actually close to the same year. That's
He was
right.
the 25th president. He died in 1901, so assuming that he was in office at some point in that year to only last a couple of days.
You have an almanac there?
What's that?
You have an almanac to look that up?
No, I had a dictionary.
Okay, 1901 he died. Okay. He was assassinated in 1901. Very good. Okay. Well, I mean, I got within a year of it.
I keep my reference materials handy.
Okay. And New Hampshire's, Brian, what do you think? What was the year of the Wilbur and Orville Wright flight?
Well, I'll agree with Jack and say 1903.
1903. Okay. And Carol Lee?
1904.
1904. And Ellen?
1902.
1902. And what do you think, Laurie?
1903.
Okay, 1903 is correct. It was December 17, 1903. You'd think they would have waited till spring or something. I wonder if maybe it wasn't so cold in North Carolina at the time. So we have 3 winners. We have Laurie and Brian from New Hampshire and Jack Harte. And that means that...
I have no point.
Do you have a tiebreaker?
Yes, we do. We do. Let me see now. Brian has 2 correct answers. That is Brian from New Hampshire. Brian McKinley has 2. And 1 apiece by Laurie and Jack. Ellen.
You forgot me.
Yeah, you're the only one who hasn't got it scored. What's that?
You forgot me.
Wait a minute. Jack Harte has 2 also.
Carol's got 2.
Carol Lee, you have 2? Yes, you do. You do have 2.
Everybody has 2. I have none. Laurie has 1.
Oh, okay. Edgar Bergen. Let me see. Now, he wasn't born on this date.
One of the greatest ventriloquists on radio.
That's right.
Never saw his lips move once.
Ventriloquist Edgar Bergen made his radio debut on December 17th. It was on the Rudy Vallee Show. And later on, of course, he became famous and stuff on his own show. But this was on the Rudy Vallee Show, his debut, a ventriloquist on radio. We used to broadcast parades on radio. We did all kinds of stuff because there was no television.
Magic acts would be really good.
Oh, incredible.
Look, you never saw my hand. Notice how the fingers never leave the hand, huh?
Ellen, let's start with you. Edgar Bergen, what year do you suppose that might have been?
1952.
1952. Okay, and what do you think, Brian from New Hampshire?
I'll say 1935.
1935. Okay, Carol Lee.
1942.
1942. And Laurie?
1932.
1932. Brian McKinley and his orchestra?
1935.
1935. And what do you think, Jack?
What year was that Orson Welles' War of the Worlds thing? Because people were just switching from Edgar Bergen.
I think that was 1939.
Okay.
Yeah, 39, yeah. But don't forget, this was when he was a guest on another show.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking it had to be before that.
Yeah, your sense of logic is fantastic.
Amazing. I'll say 1934.
1934, okay. The year actually was 1936. And it was on December 17, 1936. And so we've got Brian McKinley and Brian from New Hampshire. Both at 35. So that's very good. Let me see now. We got Brian. Brian, you have 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so does Brian from New Hampshire.
Uh-oh.
Oh. So, no, that makes a tie between the two of you, and it means, that means that Brian from New Hampshire is the winner.
Hey!
Yeah, I mean, Brian is all, but McKinley also is, but we don't give prizes to our own staff.
That's right.
Yeah, so you don't get one of the really...
Process of elimination.
That's right. You don't get one of the really crummy prizes, the really tacky, useless things.
I withdraw my winnings and fork it all over to Brian.
So that's right. He'll get a lot of additional junky stuff. Yeah, really useless
Extra
stuff.
junky stuff in his Christmas stocking.
So, Brian, hang on there now.
Okay.
And Brian, the other Brian, will take your name and address. Ellen, thank you, and Carol Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both, and also Brian. Oh no, you're going to hang on, Brian, because we're going to get information from you.
Okay, thanks, Norm.
Okay, you're welcome, and thank you for playing the game, and thank you, as always, Jack Harte and his orchestra.
Well, thank you, Norm.
We have Thomas, who's in Cleveland,
Right here.
Ohio. Nice to talk with you, Thomas. You played the game with us before?
No.
Oh, so you must be just so excited and so eager. You must be breaking out in a rash. You must be so excited by this.
Well, I wonder how somebody can win if it's so dumb.
If it's so dumb?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you have to be dumb to be playing it. I don't. No reflection on you, Tom. Thomas. I'm sorry, Thomas, not Tom. It's Thomas.
Right.
Okay, but what I do is I just tell you again who was born on this day. A lot of interesting people born on the 18th. And then you will guess the age. And then if you win, if you get the closest to their correct ages, more ages than anybody else, you win a really stupid, worthless, tacky prize. So you can see that this is certainly probably not even worth staying up late for.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. We also have Frank, who is in Ontario. That's right. We talk with Frank. He's about 400 miles north of Toronto.
It takes about 6 seconds for your signal to reach my radio antenna, Norm. Yeah.
Okay.
Compared with the phone line.
Okay, well, that's right. You're listening to us on the phone, so we get there almost immediately then.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. There's quite a delay on the radio.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, you know what that may be? It's our purpose.
Propagation.
We put the delay on there.
Is that right?
No, we put the delay. The reason for that is in case somebody gets on and says, "Oh fudge," or something we don't want to broadcast.
You get a chance to.
We have the 6 or 7 seconds
annihilate
where we can clip them off the air so that word doesn't get on the air.
Oh, for crying!
No, that's it. So it's not your radio, and it's not where you are. It's a little secret that I just gave out.
Way to be.
Yeah, because some people you wouldn't believe it. Some people get on the air and actually swear. It doesn't happen very often, but that's our protection in case it does.
I didn't realize that. That's great. So I'm all set to play the DBG.
Yes, I was just pausing. I was going to come in with a funny line after 6 or 7 seconds, but I couldn't think of what to say.
You're the Romeo of the radio.
That's right.
Oh, gee, the way you talk to the women, Rosina, wasn't that a beautiful call, Rosa?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, her name Rosina.
Oh.
Yeah, she was a nice lady.
That was a beautiful call.
Well, thank you. Here's another one.
So Dick from Hyannis. I get there to hear Ruby Braff. I've got him on record.
Oh, really?
Oh, geez, I'd love to hear him in person.
Oh, he's lovely. He's lovely to hear.
Yeah.
We have Juanita, who's out in Michigan. Hi, Juanita.
Yeah, hi. I am really dumb, ready to play.
Okay, you're dumb and ready to play. Where are you in Michigan, by the way?
Birmingham.
Birmingham, Michigan.
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited, and I don't even know where that is. Where in Michigan is that?
Just a suburb of Detroit.
Okay.
North of
Because
Detroit.
somebody had sent me, in fact, 2 or 3 people have sent me maps of Michigan. So I kind of feel like I didn't bring it into the studio this time, so I could follow along with people who called in from your state.
Oh, I'll send you a real dumb map.
Oh, no, I already got a couple of dumb maps, so I'm all set.
Oh, well, you look again and see where I am.
I will. I'm going to do that. Because I care where you are.
I want to say one thing. Where is Rick from Pennsylvania?
Rick from Pennsylvania is... he told me the town he's in, and I don't know
what, but I haven't heard him for a long time.
Yeah, do you have a crush on him or something like that?
Yeah, he was trying to win the Victoria's Secret contest. Yeah, I want to know if he won.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to get him a date.
That's right, too. He was saying that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how that came out. Maybe he'll call us again soon.
I wish he would.
We have Brian McKinley, who's a WBZ crack producer.
Yeah.
Who is playing the game with you. You excited about that, too, aren't you, Juanita? You're excited about everything.
She's just excited.
Ontario and Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland, Ontario,
Michigan.
This is like a network program.
Maybe somebody will come in from Missouri.
Well, we don't get up to Missouri too well, but we'll try a little harder if it'll please you, miss.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. But Brian McKinley is actually right here in the studio, so that we're not picking him up for any great distance.
Although I would like to be picked up by somebody.
By Juanita, by somebody, anybody.
I love Brian. He's lovely.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we also have Ken Newman, of course, who's at the Prudential. Have you ever heard of the Prudential Center, Juanita?
Yes.
In Boston? The one in Boston?
Rock?
It's
Is that big rock that moves around?
Oh, no, it's not.
Get a piece of the rock.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, this is, they own a big building that's about 52 stories, I think it is. It's the second tallest building. Actually, the John Hancock building is even taller than that. That's about 60 stories, which when you think of the town I live in, the tallest building there is like about 3 stories.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Everett?
No, actually, Middleton is where I live. I did grow up in Everett, though. You remember that?
Yeah, I hear you talking with.
Yeah, I grew up. I think the same thing applies there, too. I think they may have a 4-story building there. I'm not quite sure.
Give or take.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe 3.5 stories as a compromise. And Ken Newman, the WBC 24-hour traffic network reporter, as I just said, is at the Prudential Center because he's way on top and he can see the
look down and see where the accidents are.
He can see. That's right. He can see where the accidents are. And he's very keen on that kind of stuff. He loves to look at accidents.
Or he can look out the window and just drop water balloons out the window.
Because there's a certain amount of fun doing that.
A certain amount of fun. You can cause a certain amount of traffic accidents doing it.
I would think so, just to give you something to say, or play, or whatever.
You've discovered my secret.
We knew your secret all along. We've hushed it up in order to protect the next of kin or something. Okay, let me tell you who's born on this date, and then we'll get down the line and see how well you do. Like Kiefer Sutherland, who's the son of Donald Sutherland, and he's been in movies like Flatliners, Article 99, A Few Good Men, and The Vanishing. And those are lovely movies, I know, because I haven't seen a single one of them. I never even heard of all of them, hardly. So what do you think, Thomas? How old do you think Kiefer Sutherland, who looks a lot like his father? And I think Donald Sutherland's probably one of the really ugly men of Hollywood, although a fine actor. I saw him the other day in, what is that movie with Michael Douglas? And you going to keep saying all the way through this? Well, I will too then.
What?
Michael Douglas and the woman is Demi Moore.
Oh, Disclosure.
Disclosure. Yeah, I saw that movie the other day.
Was in that.
Yeah, it was rather a sensuous movie. The more I think about the movie, though, the more I question the whole idea of the thing is kind of unbelievable. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But his father, Donald Sutherland, is in that movie, playing a big chief executive officer, big corporate head, and a really mean kind of a. I didn't like the character he was playing. I mean, it was, you know what I'm. I mean, he played it very well, but it was not a nice man. Thomas, how old do you think Kiefer Sutherland is?
Kiefer. 43.
23, okay. And Frank would... Oh, 33?
43, he said.
Oh, you said 43. I'm sorry, man.
Well, as old as Sutherland was.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, okay, 43. Frank, what do you think?
I say 28, Norm.
You say 28, okay. You do get movies up there that far up north of Toronto?
Well, now and again, when there's the community hall brings in a special projection machine.
And it's all slides, huh?
Yeah.
I'll bet, okay. Juanita.
29.
29.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Brian, what do you think?
Let's see. I think he's older than I am. So I'd say he's 30.
30. Because
I'm 12. No.
No, because you're 28, 9?
29.
29.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, 29. Wow.
Great age, Brian.
Yeah, try to hold on to it.
Try to hold on to it. Yeah, it's sneaking. The big 3-0 is going to be sneaking up.
Ken, are you about the same age, Ken? Are you younger?
A little bit younger.
Yeah, a little bit, like what, 27?
26, actually.
26. Oh, that's not a good age, no. I can hardly wait for you to be 29. That's a good age.
I'm 29.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
26 is a stupid age, oh, that's really dumb.
Just 3 more years and I'll be at the good age.
Yeah. You know, by the time I was 26, here's the ranting of an old man. By the time I was 26...
Did you rant like this when you were 26?
Did I do what?
Did you rant like this when you were...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that...
Oh, yeah. No, it never goes away. It was born with ranting. And talking aimlessly. Yeah. No, by the time I was 26, and take this as hard, and I don't mean to brag, Ken, but I'd already been fired from 2 jobs, laid off from another, and been in jail for 3 days. Yeah. And you, what have you got the cop? What have you got to show for it? Yeah, nothing. Anyway, how old do you think Kiefer Sutherland is? What I just said, by the way, is really true. I'll discuss that some other time when it's not quite so boring.
When you have more time.
I don't mean to stop the game, but how do you go on, like, from some... I know you're young, but 26, you think, what the heck, I'll get another job. To be fired from 2 jobs.
When you're young, it's amazing.
You don't care.
No, I did care. And the job I was laid off from was right after I got married. I was married at the age of 24. And I was laid off by the age of 24 and a half or something. No, what you think at that age, and this is something that you never think again later on, is those people who fired me. And also, I thought I'm only laid off now, too. I thought I was starting to move up the ladder. This is all in radio. I thought I've been fired from the first 2 jobs in broadcasting. The 3rd job, I was only laid off. I thought, I'm starting to move now. It's not bad, So I was encouraged by that.
A better record than being fired.
I know it. That's right. I wasn't fired. I was only laid off. Because the results are the same thing. You sit around, with my new wife, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay our rent. And that kind of stuff. But I think if at that age you think everybody is stupid except you.
Right.
I thought, these bosses, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm really fine. If they fired me or laid me off, they're stupid. I'll bounce back. Later on, you don't have that much confidence in yourself. But at the time you do. You just keep punching. If that happened, well, anyway, that's what happened. I'm so glad you asked. Ken, let me ask you, how old you think Kiefer Sutherland is, or should we just forget this whole game and let me just reminisce?
Let me see. Kiefer Sutherland, I would say, is 33.
33. Why do you suppose they named him Kiefer? I wonder if that's a family name. Maybe his mother's name might have been like her maiden name might have been Juanita Kiefer.
Yeah.
It might have been that, Juanita.
He's from Ontario.
Sutherland.
No, his dad is. I think his dad lives in Quebec.
Oh, yeah. Oh, does he? He still lives in Quebec? No? Really?
In Montreal.
Oh, I see. Okay, this doesn't have his birthplace, Kiefer's birthplace.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway, he's 27 years old today. That means Frank said 28. No, he'd be the sole winner there, because nobody said 26, Yeah, you're close, Juanita.
I was guessing his mother.
What's that?
I was guessing his mother.
Oh, his mother's age?
Yeah.
Okay, is Donald Sutherland married to anybody interesting? I'm sure she's very interesting.
He was engaged to Julia Roberts.
Kiefer was engaged. That's right, he was engaged to Judy Roberts.
She left her for Lyle Lovett.
Yeah. She's gone out with some very funny-looking people and married one. Okay, Keith Richards. Now, Keith Richards.
So there's hope for all of us then.
Keith Richards.
Speaking of funny-looking people.
Yeah. Is he a funny-looking guy, Keith Richards?
I would say so.
Yeah. He's the guitarist with the Rolling Stones.
Well, I don't think... Well, yeah, I guess he is funny. Age hasn't been kind to him, but, you know, all those years on the road and all those drugs he's probably done.
Looks like death warmed over, sort of.
Maybe only ugly people were born December 18th. Could be that. Could have been one of God's rules. I'll only make ugly people on this day.
He had an off day.
Okay. Anyway, he was born in Kent, England. He plays lead guitar for the Rolling Stones, as you probably know. Their biggest hits, of course, were Satisfaction in 1965 and Honky Tonk Women in 1969. Those are my kind of... Are you a honky tonk woman, Juanita?
Yes. Yep.
What does that mean exactly? How do you define...
I hang out in low dives and stuff like that.
Really sleazy places? And,
yeah, wear a lot of lipstick and stuff.
And you wear tight leather
Drink
skirts?
beer out of bottles.
Oh, I see. Not even out of cans.
No, one-neck bottles.
Spike heels and that kind
heels,
of thing. Too much lipstick. Your lips are just...
Birmingham.
Oh, God. Let me see. How do we get to Birmingham, Michigan?
Are you asking me how old Keith is?
No, I'm not. I'm still talking about him. See.
Okay.
One of the...
He really looks old.
He was with the Rolling Stones, as I said. And one of their records was, the big record was Honky Tonk Women. That's how come we got into this discussion.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, in 1969. Keith's only single was Run, Rudolph, Run, which was Chuck Berry's Christmas song. That was...
His red nose burned out.
Juanita, cancel my flight to Birmingham, Michigan.
You're not going.
I'm not going. Chuck Berry's Christmas song, anyway, was Run, Rudolph, Run by Keith Richards. His only single. That was in 1982. I'll give you these dates so that you can piece them together and perhaps guess an age. I'm going to ask, not you first, Juanita, but Ken Newman. I'm going to ask Ken Newman how old he thinks the ugly Keith Richards is.
Let's see. I think his Satanic Majesty would be... That's what they used to call them, the Satanic Majesty.
That's right.
It would be about 51.
About 51. Okay. And Brian?
I'm going to go a little higher and say he's 56.
56. All right. And Juanita?
54.
Juanita says 54. And Frank?
48.
Okay. And Thomas?
53.
53. Okay. The actual age of Keith Richards, and I know this because I checked with the Kent, England, a city clerk, and he said he's 51 years old today.
Wow.
Yeah, so that means Ken Newman gets that one. He get that run right on the button.
Oh. He looks worse than he actually looks older than he is.
Way to be, Ken.
What did you say?
I said, way to be, Ken.
Oh, I see. Okay. Roger Smith, you know that name? He's the husband of and the manager of Anne Margaret, who's been quite ill, I guess, through the years, but somehow is hanging in there.
Yeah. Not that beautiful actress.
She is sensational. I think she is, yes.
Oh.
He's from Southgate, California. Best known for the TV series 77 Sunset Strip. Remember one of the early TV shows? He was in good health at that time and was on that show. 77 Sunset Strip. Everybody join in. 77 Sunsets. Forget it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Connie Stevens.
We're going to ask you, that's right, Connie Stevens was in that. And Ephraim Zimbalist, was he in that too?
And Kooky Ed, what was his name?
Kooky Ed Byrne.
Yeah.
With a comb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kooky Ed, show me your comb or something. He was always combing his hair.
Ephraim Zimbalist.
Ephraim Zimbalist, I believe I just said that. Yeah, he was in that too.
Yeah.
And also Morris Borowski. Except that he never showed up on camera. Roger Smith. Juanita, how old do you think he is?
Roger Smith is about 59.
59. Okay. And Thomas, what do you think?
Who's Roger Smith?
He was CEO of General Motors, too.
Roger Smith? No, I think there was another Roger Smith, you book. Oh, you're so funny, you darling person. Come to my arms, baby. I love women with weird senses of humor.
Lovely names like Juanita.
Juanita, yeah. Even if she were really an ugly lady, the name alone would captivate me. Thomas, what do you think? How old do you think Roger Smith is?
Do you have any idea who he is?
Yeah, Roger Smith, as I mentioned, from 77 Sunset Strip. Ken?
I would say 56.
You would say 56. Okay, and Frank?
57, Norm.
57. Okay, Brian?
Go right up the ladder, 58.
58. I think there was I'm not going to tell this to Roger when I explained that he was part of a dumb birthday game, but there seems to be a definite lack of interest in how old he is. Yeah, nobody really seems to care at all.
Is he older?
He's actually 62.
Wow.
He's 62, and that would mean that Juanita is the closest because she said 59.
Oh, God.
Yes, there is some interest, yeah. Okay, how about Steven Spielberg? We all know Steven Spielberg.
Oh, God.
Okay, born in Cincinnati, Ohio. His name is...
What year?
What year?
Don't be wise, okay, fella? He's a film producer. His name, it says, is now a household word due to Jaws, Close Encounters, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Jurassic Park. Well, that's quite a string of successful movies.
Yeah.
He was married to actress Amy Irving, who I think is
she's pretty.
doll. I loved her in Crossing Delancey.
Yeah.
I think I'll write her another obscene letter this morning when I get off the air. They have a son. He married aftress Kate Capshaw. I guess he's married to her now. They married in 1991. She's the star of the Black Tie Affair, which I never heard of either. Do you know that one, Black Tie Affair? Did that go directly to video or directly into the wastebasket?
I think go directly into the toilet is what it is.
Yeah, the Black Tie Affair. Are you familiar with that, Ken? Because you're kind of a man about town.
No, I'm not familiar with that at all.
Okay, the age of Steven Spielberg. Why don't we start with you, Thomas, because he was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you're in Cleveland, Ohio, which I know is the other part of the state, but way up north. But what do you think?
53.
53. Okay, and Frank, who's up there in Ontario?
Yeah, did he say, did he do that picture of The Shining?
Yeah.
Was that, no, that's Stephen King. Yeah, that's Stephen King. No, that's somebody else.
He directed it.
This is Steven Spielberg, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jurassic Park, Jaws.
I reckon 55.
55. Okay, and Juanita?
49.
49. And what do you think, Brian?
I'll go along with 47.
47. Okay. And what do you think, Ken?
I'm going to go with 51 once again.
51, once again, the same as you guessed for Keith Richards, and you won with that one.
It's been a lucky number for me.
It's an excellent number.
How old was he?
Steven Spielberg actually is 47, the same as Brian said, yeah. Juanita, you've been very close on most all of these.
Yeah.
Except for that one.
Except Brian hit that right on the button. So we have one apiece by Frank, Juanita, Brian, and Ken. And Thomas is ready to score, I can tell you.
Standing by.
He's standing by, ready to break into the scoring column.
I'm on the way.
With Leonard Maltin. You know that name, the movie reviewer and the author?
Oh, yeah.
It's written a number of books on movies and stuff. Born in New York City.
That must be the great... What kind of job is that? Being a movie critic, going in and go, hey, hated it, liked it, hated it, like...
Yeah, I would think it'd be boring,
You think so? Oh, I would love to do that job.
I would think it would.
But you have to... The problem with that is you got to see every movie.
Yeah.
That's a problem. They're paying you to see every movie, right?
I know that, but there are a lot of movies that are so boring you wouldn't want to sit through them. You know, I mean, it's easier just to pick the movies you want to see rather than have to see everything that comes. Oh, I think that would be awful.
You think so? I think that would be pretty cool.
I think it'd be right up there with Restaurant Critic.
Wonder if he saw Black Tie.
That would be good, too, Restaurant Critic. But, you know, you have to... you'd be about 500 pounds by all the free food everybody's giving.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm hooked on Ovaltine since listening to the WBZ.
Yeah, I think actually a Restaurant Critic, I think, has to be pretty anonymous. I mean, if you go in and they're serving you, they're figuring they'll pull out all stops and make it as good as they can, and that may not be typical of the food there.
I think another Another great job would probably be Gold Bond spokesperson.
You gotta talk like this, though.
That would be nice, or the Ovaltine one,
Ovaltine,
too.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Ovaltine, man, do they do it.
My mother gives me how much Ovaltine? Really?
Yeah. My friends
chocolate.
Yeah,
Rich chocolate, the Ovaltine.
Yeah, my friends love to come to my house because we have vats and barrels and oil drums full of Ovaltine.
Gee, Norm, you got a great impersonation voice.
I think that's a repertory company they have. The Gold Bomb and the Ovaltine people.
Could be, yeah.
It's actually the same stuff.
Okay, we're gonna do Leonard Maltin now. In case you forgot. Maltin.
M-A-L-T-I-N?
Yes. Is it Maltin? Maltin, yeah. Leonard Maltin.
Yeah. Leonard Maltin.
He's on Entertainment Tonight, that kind of stuff. Or so we sometimes call it E.T. It's to get kind of hip. And we'll start with Frank. What do you think?
I reckon 48, Norm.
You reckon 48? Hey, Frank reckons 48. Kid.
Yeah, me and the Boston Crick Gang.
Hey, you're okay in my book, big guy. What do you think, Ken?
Say 47.
Ken says 47, and Brian says?
I'm going to say he's 50.
Okay, and Thomas?
46.
46. And Juanita?
49.
49.
Name again.
Yeah, I think, actually, Thomas has now broken into the scoring column.
Ooh. Oh, goody.
Thomas said 46. Leonard Maltin actually is 44 years old today.
Hey, did I make one?
But Thomas came the closest.
Huh.
Yes, the closest, yes. Okay, so everybody has won just once.
Way to be, Thomas.
Oh, boy, this is breathtaking.
Yes, now we can start over again.
All the kids here in the teen canteen are just so darn excited, man. They're so glad.
Let's hear them.
Pardon me?
Let's hear them.
Okay, oh, yeah.
It's that one guy again.
Yeah.
Thank you, kids.
Okay, you're welcome. Anita O'Day, the great singer. Yeah, she was with
Jean Krupa. Yeah, she sang Massachusetts, Norm.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Jean Krupa's band, she did Opus number 1.
Oh.
And, of course, Let Me Off Uptown with Roy Eldridge. Blow, Roy, blow. Well, back to all that stuff. That's Anita O'Day. Also, I did an interview with
Georgia on My Mind, and Rockin' Chair.
That's right. She did a ton of stuff.
And Linda Chase is like, she does your signature theme. And
yes.
I think she's sensational.
Oh, I do, too. No, that's nice of you to say that, because she is in the Anita O'Day school.
Oh,
like June Christie is, and Chris Connor.
Yeah, but
and a woman that Stan Kent was married to at one point. I forgot her name.
Great vibrato.
Yeah, well, it's kind of almost a semi-hoarse kind of sound.
Happiness, yeah.
Yeah, lovely sound.
Oh.
I once mentioned that to Stan Kenton. Notice the way I dropped names around.
Is that right?
I said to Kent, no, I was doing the all-night jazz show, so I did get a chance to interview a whole lot of people. But I said, you had Anita O'Day, you had June Christie, Chris Connor, all sang with the Stan Kenton band. And then his wife, the man whose name I forgot, who sang that same style. Oh. And I said, I remember saying to him, you look for a specific style, because all these vocalists all sound similar. And he said, that's not true. They're all quite different. And they're screaming at me. I said, that's ridiculous. They do. There's a similarity to all of them. And he's arguing with me. Well, what does he know about? What did he know about music anyway? I couldn't believe he'd say that. He was insulted that I would even bring that up.
Was he married to her?
He was married to the last vocalist whose name I can't remember. I just can't think of what that is. That's really stupid. Somebody's thinking of it and saying, you call yourself a jazz person? You don't even know that name? What the heck is wrong with you, fella? Yeah. But it'll come to me, but it's not at the moment. Let's start with, with you, Thomas. Anita O'Day. How old do you think she is today?
When did you interview her?
When did I interview her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I interviewed her when I was doing the all-night jazz show, which was between 67 and 70, between 57 and 68. And she brought up a little dog to the studio.
Uh-huh.
How old was she then?
How old was the dog?
Never mind. And she brought up this little dog. And the dog, while I'm talking with Anita O'Day, this dog is chewing up these wires that are on the floor. I don't know what they were doing on the floor. Obviously, we had a sloppy engineering staff at the time. And I'm thinking that dog is either going to execute himself or all of us, and we're going to be off the air in 3 seconds. And I tried to tell her, and she didn't want to talk to me. And after about the third question, when I said, I forget what the question was, she said, "What is this, some kind of an inquisition or what?" She was a horrible woman, and probably still is. Anyways, one of the worst interviews I ever had. I feel just so bad. Am I disillusioning you, Frank?
Oh, I admire her so much.
No, I love the way she sings. I love the way she sings, as long as you don't ever have to talk to her.
She sings hot. Gee.
Oh, she's a hot babe. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I read her biography, too.
Oh, did you?
That's quite a tragic story all around.
Oh, really? Well, maybe she had one of those tragic days. Maybe she looked at me and said, "This guy's a tragedy. He's an ugly. He looks like Donald Sutherland. He's ugly." And maybe she didn't feel like talking. I don't know, but I had a terrible time with it.
Was the interview in the biography?
Yeah, it probably is there. Yeah, probably. She probably gave me a different name, though. Yeah. She probably called me Howard Stern, something like that. A lot of people actually have been disguising my name they want to give me a stupid name like that, so it's okay. Anyway, let's start with, we'll start with you. Who are we going to start with? Ken, I guess. Okay, Anita O'Day.
Sorry, I just went into a trance there for a second. I'd say she's, oh, God, I really don't know.
Okay, and again, she's been around for a very long time, so that's about all and I interviewed her in the 60s, maybe the late 50s, early 60s. Yeah. Okay. The only thing interesting about that, we were in the I was with WHDs, we were in the Payne Furniture Building at the time, up on the 8th floor, and they had this janitor, kind of, who worked for the Payne Furniture Building, not us. And so I had to beg him to please, when we have guests, could he bring them up on the elevator?
Oh.
We were up on the 8th floor. And he was, most of the time, fortunately, he was drunk. Because when he was sober, he was the most vicious, nasty person in the world. He wouldn't do anything. So you kind of hope he was drinking that night. Then he'd become mellow. And he brought up Anita O'Day, who apparently hadn't been drinking either, because she was vicious with her dog who was chewing everything in sight. But I just have never forgotten that whole period.
Was it a 15-minute interview, Norm?
I don't remember. It probably wasn't very long. I can't remember. Fortunately, we moved to another building where we had our own watchman and some security guard, so it was okay. So we brought people in. It was not a problem then. But you know, some of the biggest names in jazz were people he refused to bring up because he didn't feel like it. Please, I've got President Roosevelt down there. He's going to be on the program. But shut up! I don't need to do anything. That kind of
Norm?
Yes.
Norm?
Yes, ma'am.
I was supposed to interview Artie Shaw once. I was just a little kid. And he says, "Get out of here, kid."
Oh, really? One of my first interviews was with Sophie Tucker. Do you remember that name?
Oh, sure.
She was on a fading end of her career even back then. And I remember she had written a book called Some of These Days, which was her big song. You're going to miss me, on Big Fat Mama. You know, one of those.
Yeah.
Whistling.
And I was 18 or 19 at the time.
God, what a thrill.
Oh, and she came in, and I was scared. You know, I'd never even talked to anybody of that stature, let alone interview them on the air. And it was a live thing. And I remember saying to her, asking some questions. I can't remember what the questions were. We're going back about 8 million years. But I remember her saying to me, "Everybody knows the answer to that, kid. It's in the book. Ask me something that's not in the book." You know, and I'm quivering with fear anyway. You know, I couldn't even hardly ask her anything anyway.
What an experience!
Oh man, I'd never forgotten that. I thought you big fat broad.
I thought Artie Shaw was the most handsome man in the world, and I love his music. And he says, "Get out of here, kid."
I'm so sorry. Can I make that up for you, Juanita?
Yes.
Can Thomas make it up to you, or Frank, or Brian, or Ken?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're surrounded by beautiful guys who want to make up to you.
Birmingham, Michigan, here we come.
Oh, great.
Okay, anyway, let's get back to Anita O'Day. And tell me, Thomas, how old do you think Anita O'Day... No, I asked Ken. That's right. How old do you think she is, Ken?
I thought I was about to get out of it. I guess 70.
Okay, and what do you think, Brian?
I'd go with 65.
Okay, and Juanita, what do you want to go with? You know what I'm saying?
I'll go with 71.
71. Okay, Frank?
About 78, Norm.
78, okay. And Thomas?
66.
66. Okay, here's the answer. Anita O'Day, on this very day, is 74.
Oh.
Wow. I think Juanita's the closest. She says 71.
Yeah.
That's 3 years off. Yeah, Frank was close. He said 78, which is 4 years. So I'd say, Juanita, you are now leading the pack with 2 correct answers. But, yeah. How about Bill Moose Scowron, you know, the ball player?
Yeah, the Yankee guy. Yes. Great.
He was a member of the outstanding Yankee team that won the pennant in every year of the 1950s. There's a tip for him, the 50s.
Yeah.
Except 1954 and 1959. Otherwise, I mean, that incredible Yankee baseball team kept winning year after year. What a team that was. I think Joe McCarthy, wasn't he the manager of the team at that time? So here's a Bill Moose Scowron. Thomas, what do you think?
Bill Moose Scowron. Was he around with Joe McCarthy?
No, not the senator Joe McCarthy, but there was a Joe McCarthy who was manager of the Yankees, I believe, during that period in the 60s, 50s rather. 50s is when the Yankee team just kept like a juggernaut, just kept moving along and they're winning everything.
Wasn't Stengel there then?
Pardon me?
Wasn't Casey?
Maybe it was. I may be saying the wrong manager. I know that.
I think Joe was there before W2.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't know that for sure, but if you say so, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
I'll go 68.
68, okay. And Frank?
I'd say 73, Norm.
73, okay. And Juanita?
Oh.
There's that name again.
Go for 70.
Okay, we'll go for 70. And Brian?
I'll go 72.
And Ken?
74.
74. He's younger than any of you have said. Yeah, he's only 64.
Wow.
Let's see, 54 would have been 40 years ago. Yeah, that's true. But he's 24 years old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And so the closest...
I am. 70, I said.
Yeah, I think Juanita's got this one. No, it's Thomas. Thomas said 68.
Oh, that's weird.
So he was just 4 years off. Yeah, Thomas was the closest. Okay, just one more, and this will decide the winner. Right now we have a tie between Thomas, who came from nowhere,
Juanita,
and Juanita.
Cleveland,
That's right.
Did Thomas come from Cleveland?
I'm coming from nowhere in Point.
Ontario.
Yeah, no, I'm just, well, never mind. Anyway, Ossie Davis. Let me see what I can tell you about Ossie Davis. Okay, he was born in Cogdell, Georgia.
I thought you were going to say the year. He's born in...
Ossie?
Cogdell. This is Ossie Davis, the actor. Appeared in films like The Joe Louis Story, No Way Out, The Scalp Hunters, and that's a great title for a movie. Would I grab you? Would you? It's like that was one movie I thought that had the ugliest name, Taras Bulba. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, who'd go to a movie named either one, that or The Scalp Hunters? What do you say? Want to go to the show? The show, The Scalp Hunters. I love that.
That's the Gold Bomb show, isn't it?
I don't think Scalp Hunters would be,
Itchy Scalp?
Yeah, Itchy Scalp. Way to be, man.
I didn't realize. He was also more recently in Malcolm X. That's Ossie Davis.
He was in Evening Shade.
Was he on the TV show Evening Shade?
Evening Shade, you were in the restaurant, yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you first then, Juanita. How old do you think he is?
75.
75. Okay. And Thomas?
68.
Thomas says 68. This is kind of exciting because these two are
yeah.
just tied, so far. Oh, this is really one of the dramatic moments I live for. Ken, what do you think?
I'll go with 70.
70. We can make it like a four-way tie, I suppose, depending on how this comes out. That would really be exciting. Then we'd have to hire a big hall and do the playoffs.
Yeah, being as there's no Boston Bruins team, they could...
That's right.
Yeah, we could go on strike.
And no Boston Red Sox team either. Yeah, we got nothing going on.
And before we finish it, we could go on strike and then demand, more useless prizes. And then if we don't get it, we're not coming back.
That's right. Heck with them. Who do they think they are? Frank, what do you think, Ossie Davis? What do you think?
Say 71.
71. And Brian?
67.
67. Okay, here's the magic moment. We'll decide whether there's the tiebreaker here or not.
Our fate's in your hands.
Well, it's in the hands of the truth.
The truth.
The actual age of Ossie Davis.
The American way.
That is the way. 77.
Oh.
So I believe that Juanita said 75. Juanita is the winner of this wonderful game.
Oh, I get a bunch of nice stuff.
No, you don't get nice stuff.
Yeah, you don't get nice stuff.
Nobody ever claimed you got nice stuff. You get a bunch of useless, worthless things.
Well,
We'll scrape the gum off the bottom of my shoe.
they make nice gifts.
Yeah, if you think, like a 2-pound box of cat litter is a nice gift, then okay.
Not even new. Used.
So you keep saying used. Will you stop that? That is sickening.
Sorry, Juanita.
Okay. So I want to thank you all. And stay on the line.
I don't have a cat.
I have a cat.
Hold on a minute. We'll send you a cat.
Send you a cat. There you go.
No sense in having all that cat litter without even having a cat.
No.
I have 3 cats.
3 cats. You mind partying with one?
Yeah, but...
No, because I have 3 cats also.
They're all girls.
Well, I don't know. They're all neutered, my cats. Fixed, neutered.
Well, we don't sell mine.
Kaploot, no more kittens.
And 2 dogs.
I have 2 dogs.
A horse.
I have 2 dogs.
Are you guys quoting what I have or what you have?
What you have.
Oh, yes, I do have a horse.
Yeah.
And 2 dogs.
I don't have a horse.
And I got 2 dogs.
And hens also.
And the hens, yeah. And then in April, the spring peepers.
You went hands down,
Well, I don't own the peepers. They are independent little critters, I just go down and record their wonderful song.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear you talk of them and all. Geez.
Hey, you're okay. Hey, listen, stay on the line, Juanita. You'll talk to Brian.
Brian will take all the info, and you'll get your great prize. Juanita, congratulations.
We may put Brian in a package and mail him out to Birmingham.
Oh, he's sweet.
Hey, Juanita, if you can't use the cat litter, I can.
It's good. It's good for the driveway in the icy weather.
Oh, yeah, my cat's going to walk all that way.
Okay.
Say, Norm?
Yes.
Is the Raymore Ballroom still there?
No, it hasn't been there for 1,000 years.
Anyway, that's where WBZ and NBC originated the Glenn Miller Orchestra was coast to coast in December 15, 1937 from the Raymore.
Son of a gun.
And is the Roseland State still there?
No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. It just opened. That's down in Taunton.
Yeah?
Are you talking about the one down in Taunton?
The Roseland State Ballroom.
Well, I think you're thinking about one that was in Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
They just remodeled and opened one down in Taunton. There's there are a couple of other ballrooms that still do exist.
And what about the Southland Cafe? Was that Lavaggi's? I've heard Chick Webb.
No, I think the Southland was on Warrington Street. And
I've heard Chick Webb and Ella Fitzgerald live program records, of course.
Yeah, I think it's the comedy. It's a comedy shop now.
Comedy house. Oh,
I believe so. We also have a theater kind of set up. Anyway, that's not there anymore.
And George Forsythe writes for the Boston Herald.
Used to.
Yeah. Well, I found one of my Artie Shaw records is comments by him.
Yeah.
And then Ron Della
Chiesa
from
WGBH.
Yeah, he wrote the comments for my Flip Phillips record, the great saxophonist.
Well, that's great. Listen, I got to get going because we got news
Hi,
coming
Rick
up.
from Pennsylvania.
Bye.
Call, please.
Hey, listen, Frank, I appreciate you being on. I thank you very much. We'll have to...
Thanks, Norm, and bye, Juanita and Thomas and Ken.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Happy holiday.
That's right, and thank you very much, Thomas. It was nice to have you with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, okay?
Bye, Thomas.
And also, will you hold on now? You're going to talk to Juanita. You're going to talk to Brian.
Yeah.
In fact, right this very moment.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to throw in a few dirty words, that's kind of nice. It'll give him something to live for. I just said that. I don't know why. No idea why I said that. And Ken, we'll be talking with you again soon.
Okay, Norm. I look forward to it.
Okay. Anyway, that's the way the Dumb Birthday game goes, and I just thought today's edition was really neat.
Woods Resort Casino welcomes in the new year with the special talented couple, Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., on December 29th through December 31st. Call 1-800-PLAY-BIG at Foxwoods. Your best bet for the 1995 excitement.
We close the Dumb Birthday book for the present time. I'll be back tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll be on. Somewhere around 11:30, Tim Walsh will be with us, and probably for the last hour and a half, or whenever he can make it. I guess he's got some kind of an engagement on Sunday night, so whenever he gets on, that'll be nice, and we'll play the Tribond game. That's where he gives you 3 names of different kinds of things, and you're supposed to tell him what the tie-in is. That's the way the game goes. And he's given away lots of games up to this point. And maybe you'll get a chance to win one of the games tonight. So that's 11 o'clock. And then we'll be on throughout the week. From then on, while Bob Rowley's on vacation, we'll be sitting around and talking with... I'm just looking through the list of guests we have. A whole bunch of very, very good people throughout the week. I'll tell you about them as we go along. Hold on a minute. I'm going to do a meteorological field trip. I want to see what the weather is like. Now, hold on a second. I'm looking out the window, see. Well, we have this gorgeous driveway. Not driveway, the WBZ parking lot is what it is. And it doesn't need to be raining as hard as it was. But the driveway, the road is very, very wet. I imagine there's some very difficult conditions, as Ken Newman has pointed out, in some areas west of Boston. There may be some icing conditions. North, when you get up into sections of New Hampshire, apparently they're having snow up there and that kind of stuff. We'll get a complete check on the weather, along with the rest of the news, a little bit later on here at WBZ. Thank you so much. Okay, let me see. I don't know whether you noticed this, O'Brien, or not, but I've been punching up all kinds of commercials and nothing seems to be happening. But that's okay. What the heck? That's about the size of everything. I should be able to ad-lib something else and tell you what else is going on. But mostly news is coming on, and we'll see what's happening. And then I'd love to talk with you. We have about another 15 minutes here on the air. And at the moment, all the lines are open. So if you get a chance to call me, I would really like that just so darn much. Our phone number is 254-1030, 254-1030. If it's been a problem for you to get through up to this point, it should not be now, because the lines are open. And we'll have a chance to take maybe 2 or 3 calls before we say goodbye. The area code to Boston, I think you well know, is 617. Thank you very much as we come up to news time at 4 o'clock. You're tuned to WBZ Boston. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. Anyway, you're tuned to WBZ Boston. My name is Norm Nathan. It is now 4 o'clock.
It appears the 4 a.m. gremlins had taken over. I'm sure Brian McKinley had it under control by the time news ended. Another 2 dumb birthday games in the books, and forever out here in cyberspace. Lots of credits to acknowledge, so let's close the vault and leave this world a little sillier than we found it. For Regis and Kathy Lee, Deep Resonant Voices, Impressions of Dead People, Freeman James Tucker Jr. and his dog Skippy, Howard Feldman, Combing Your Eyebrows, Pronouncing Italian Names, Rayburn and Finch, the coo-cooing WBZ Pet Pigeon, Less Itchy and sexually exciting. Bananarama, chanting the classics. Parade Magazine, Rose Nathan, The Stone Zoo. Kittyhawk, radio ventriloquists, honky-tonk women in dive bars, His Satanic Majesty. The Teen Canteen, Norm's Jazz Stories, Useless, Worthless Things. Horses, hens, dogs, cats, and peepers. Live meteorological field trips. Brian McKinley, Ken Newman, Jack Harte, and the Romeo of the radio. Norm Nathan. I'm Tony Nesbitt.